I'm at Phuket Bus Terminal number 2 and I'm getting the ticket from Phuket to Andaman. And we are away. So if I understand it correct, I didn't know what to expect. I took the bus to save money as a solo traveller. Find out how I travelled on a 3-part journey from Karon Beach, Phuket to Andaman in Krabi. I didn't pre-book a bus and I didn't know what to expect. First part, I had to get to the Phuket Bus Terminal number 2. I booked a taxi through my hotel to the bus terminal. It was a standard 800 baht. I left the hotel at 8:30 a.m. and it took me 45 minutes to get there. The taxi is a minivan and I'm travelling solo, so I'm all alone in this van. Note that there are 2 bus terminals in Phuket town. Bus terminal number 1 is the old one and number 2 is the new one. They are 20 minutes drive apart. I'm at Phuket Bus Terminal number 2 and I'm getting the ticket from Phuket to Andaman. So when I arrived, someone asked me where I wanted to go and took me to the right ticket place and got me the right ticket. I didn't even have time to think. Someone really did grab me as soon as the taxi door opened and took me straight to the right ticket counter. It was so good. It was easy. So there's lots of counters here. I just said Andaman. I didn't know how much it would cost or when the next bus was leaving. I didn't pre-book, but all good, easy. I have my ticket. So this bus ticket was 400 baht to Andaman and the payment is cash only, so note that. Phuket Bus Terminal 2 is bigger, has more buses, more routes, more frequently. I did some research before I went to Thailand about getting a bus from Phuket to Krabi, and I learned about the 2 different bus terminals, and I read advice to go to Terminal 2, although you still can get a bus from Terminal 1. But the hotel staff here in Karon advised me to go to Terminal 2 as well. So I've got my ticket at the ticket area. I've got 30 minutes until, 40 minutes until my bus leaves. And I've got a gate number and a time. So I thought I'd have to get a bus to Krabi and then get a taxi to Andaman, but I said I want to go to Andaman. They've said I'm on a bus to Andaman. So let's see what happens. So now I'm going through to the gates where the buses are. I'm going to try and find my gate first and then try and buy coffee. So they start from this way. Number 1, number 2, 3, 4, so I'm going on gate 4. So it's that bus there. So there's like 28 bus stops here. Let's just have a quick look around. I saw my gate number 4 and then I'm going to try and get a coffee. I haven't had coffee this morning. So I got a ride from Karon Beach to here. It took 40 minutes at 8:30 a.m. This is not too bad. I haven't had any coffee yet. They've got food here. I may need to go over the other side to find a coffee, I think. Lots of food places over there. Here is my bus, the big pink bus. Everyone was getting on the bus really early, like 30 minutes before leaving. Suitcases went underneath and it's a climb up high into the bus. There's allocated seat numbers. I got the feeling that most people are local people on this bus. Not many had suitcases. There were only a few locals travelling with bags. I only recognised 2 European backpackers as tourists and myself. They were in the back row of the bus. And we are away. So I'm on the bus from Phuket town to Krabi and then to Andaman. When I travel in a plane or a bus or a train, it's really important to me to have a window seat. But this time there were none available. Allocated seats, and there was only 3 seats left. I was allocated this seat on the aisle. I survived. So if I understand it correct, this bus goes to Krabi and then I do need to change buses to Andaman. And the conductor's going to show me where to get the bus. So this is a lovely air-conditioned bus with beautiful curtains and decorations and some mirrors on the roof, as they do their buses in Thailand. Pretty cool. And as for coffee, it's coffee in a can today. Let me show you. Nescafe, coffee in a can. It's actually pretty good stuff. I buy them just about every day when I travel in Thailand. They're good. And that will do me for today. I bought 2 just to get me through. I hadn't eaten, but I didn't feel like eating, so I just got 2 cans. But I only had 1 can on the bus because I realised it was going to be 3 hours. There was no toilet stops, and no way was I climbing into the tiny cupboard to use the tiny potty in the cupboard on this bus, which I think is built for much smaller people. These buses are made for smaller people, I think. Asian bodies are smaller. And I noticed everyone around me, Asian, had plenty of room in the bus. The ladies could put their legs up, they could move around. I am very tall, I have very long legs, and I did not have much room. We are now leaving Phuket Island over the Sarasin Bridge to the Thailand mainland. There is a toll and a gate on this bridge. This bridge was opened in 1967. It was named after Pot Sarasin, a former Prime Minister of Thailand, during his time as the Minister of the National Development. So everyone is a smaller build and the bus is built for smaller peoples. I mean, I'm not really that big, but I had to shuffle sideways to get down the aisle. It's very narrow. You could put the seat back like in a plane, and everyone was banging their seats back and going off to sleep. The man in front put his seat back and it banged into my knees. The man sitting next to me tapped him on the shoulder and told him to put his seat back up, as I didn't have any room. Well, that's what I think he said. He was talking in another language. I assume that's what he said. The man in front looked behind at me. They said something else and he left his seat up. I thanked them so much. I was so very grateful that he did that for me. My legs are too long for that bus. Hi, I'm Linda. I'm here as a travel guide, so you know what to expect and can plan your travels for a better experience. To travel better, please subscribe for more travel vlogs. We are now in Krabi, and it is amazing to see the towering limestone rock formations out the window. Oh, I just love it. The bus ride was 3 hours, no stops, no breaks. Many people slept on the bus. Me, I like to see as much as I can on every travel journey that I go on. Every taxi, every bus, every train, Even if the bus ride is like 5 hours, 10 hours long, I will look out the window for every second of it. I'm not looking at my phone, I'm not reading a book. I want to see as much as I can. Let me know in the comments, do you sleep on a bus tour, a long bus ride, or do you look out the window and see everything at every moment? So I'm now in Krabi town at a tourist travel agent place. So the bus stopped, especially for me, in this random spot. Maybe not so random. So I was the only one that got off just here, and I'm going to get the bus to Andaman from here. So I don't think it's so random after all. It's right next to the Krabi main bus terminal. It's right over there. I just realised. So I think that's the main bus station terminal right there. That's where they were kind enough to drop me off just here. On the bus we had allocated seat numbers, so I noticed when I bought my ticket there was only 3 spots left in the 10 o'clock bus, and I filled one of them and it was full when I got on it, when we left at 10 o'clock. I'm not sure how often it runs, maybe every hour or an hour and a half. I was trying to see the timetable. I think it's like every hour, hour and a quarter, hour and a half or something it's running. So I'm lucky I only had to wait 40 minutes to get that bus. When I arrived here, the lady told me to wait here for the bus to Andaman. Just wait. First, I really needed the bathroom, so I took care of that in the squat toilet under the stairs. Then I asked how long until the bus. She says, not long, 20 minutes, just wait here. I believed her. Then I saw this sign out the front, Andaman 2 p.m. Oh wow. I realised that I was gonna have to wait like 1.5 hours. I still did not feel like food at all, so I got an iced coffee. I have my coffee. Yum. I needed this. So it's now 1 o'clock, so it was a 3-hour bus trip from Phuket town, and bus goes to Andaman in half an hour, 30 minutes. So time for an iced cold coffee. Yum, 40 baht bargain. So good. Okay, that was good. Needed that. And I watched people and waited. I observed a lot of backpackers here in this area. It was very different from Phuket and Karon. There were backpackers out front, next door, buses coming and going. They were walking up the street to the bus terminal. I also observed I was the only person over the age of 35. No other tourists of my age were doing this bus thing. Maybe. Let me know in the comments if you catch buses over the age of 35. Over 40, well, even I'm over 50. Not many solo travellers around, and certainly not over the age of 50. I often find myself as the oldest person in doing what I'm doing. I still feel young. Waiting, it's very hot. Waiting, watching people, waiting. Yes, we're loading up. But it took 25 minutes to fill it up with people from another bus that just arrived too. The minivan was full of backpackers under the age of 30. I felt very old. 30 minutes to Ao Nang and everyone was dropped off at their hotel doors. And then there was one, of last to be dropped off. So turned out I didn't need another taxi from a bus stop. That was nice. So I've just arrived at my hotel in Ao Nang. So ended up having to wait an hour and a half for the minibus to Ao Nang. So that was left at 2:30. So it was a minibus, it was full of people and they dropped us off at the hotels. That is pretty cool. I didn't expect that. I didn't know what to expect. I knew I was going to get a bus to Krabi and then I thought maybe I'll get a taxi to Ao Nang. Anyway, got a bus to Krabi and then a mini bus from Ao Nang to my resort. And so it's now 3:30 p.m. I started traveling at 8:30 a.m. and the only things I've consumed today is a cup of tea, a can of coffee and an iced coffee. I have not had one crumb of food today. So I'm very quickly going to get changed and go find some food. A meal that was very much needed. I then went and did some exploring. To be continued. See my next video. How to get from Phuket to Krabi. There are options. It's a time, money and experience decision to be made. I took the bus. There are options to travel from Phuket to Krabi, by road or sea. It's a time, money and experience decision to be made. Faster time costs more. Cheaper takes more time. By road, you can get a bus, private driver, or you can self-drive. By sea, you can get a ferry or a speedboat. The ferry will go via the PP Islands and take a little bit longer. The speedboat will bypass those islands and get there faster. If you want to fly by plane from Phuket to Krabi, you actually have to go up to Bangkok. So it's a long way around. You have to fly up to Bangkok and then fly back down to Krabi. So if you go by bus, it cost me 400 baht to get the bus from Phuket town to Ao Nang. So if you're just getting the bus to Krabi, it could be a little bit cheaper. I also had to pay for a taxi to get from my hotel in Karon Beach to the Phuket Bus Terminal 2. That was 800 baht. The bus did take me straight to my hotel in Ao Nang. So the travel time, it took 7 to 8 hours traveling by bus. So that was the taxi to the bus terminal, waiting for the next bus. The bus took 3 hours from bus terminal to bus terminal. Then I had to wait for another bus change to Ao Nang and then I had to get the bus to Ao Nang. So it's a long trip. So the bus is operating about once an hour throughout the day. If you get a ferry, it's about 1,400 baht. So it's a lot dearer than the bus. Plus you got to get a taxi from your resort to the pier on Phuket Island. And then you will probably need a taxi from the pier at Krabi to wherever you're going, to Ao Nang or to your hotel, wherever it is. Again, it will take about 7 or 8 hours. So you're going to get a taxi to the ferry terminal, wait for the next ferry. You're going to get a ferry, which is about 3 hours. Then you're going to get a taxi from the pier. If you get the speedboat, it's a lot faster. It's about 1.5 hours. But you're still going to get that taxi to the pier and from the pier. So the ferries run mostly in the mornings and about once per hour. Now, if you get a private driver, which might cost around 2,500 baht, it will only take about 3 to 4 hours. So that's a direct route from your hotel door to your hotel door. You could stop for a 10-minute break. that would be handy. It'll only take about 3 or 4 hours. And of course a private driver you could book 24 hours a day, no wait, whatever time is going to suit you. If you're going to self-drive, I'm not sure how much that costs. That's variable whether you're hiring a car or a motorbike. Again, travel time is going to be direct, about 3 or 4 hours, direct from door to door. And you could stop, you could see other things along the way. You could take a lot longer and see a lot more things along the way. And again, you can go anytime, no wait. So pick what works for you, time, money, and experience. Which one would you pick? If you've done this trip before from Phuket to Krabi, let me know in the comments how you did it, which way did you go? Happy traveling, travel safe, and enjoy the journey. Please subscribe for more travel vlogs and more travel guides.